Coming up next on Insights on PBS Hawaii, what unique challenges face people raising children in a homeless environment?
Hi, my name is Tracy Martin. I'm here with my wife Tabitha and my daughter Talia, who makes 3 years old today, and we're homeless. This is where me and my family live, right there. We're in Kaka'ako, where they call Tent City, and this is it.
For a little girl, she understands a lot. You know what the sad part is? She knows what a sweep is. She gets all her stuff ready and packed, and she has it on her back by the time we're done. Ready to go. Telling her, Mommy, Daddy, I'm ready. Who might take her stuff? Who might take her childhood this time?
Aloha and welcome to Insights on PBS Hawaii. I'm Daryl Huff from Hawaii News Now. What you've just seen is an excerpt from Dear Talia, a documentary by local filmmaker Rex Maribe that follows the Martin family, which lives in a homeless encampment in Kaka'ako. Tracy Martin, the father in that film, will join us on tonight's panel. We want to hear from you during tonight's conversation. Call 973-1000 if you live on Oahu, or 800-238-4847 if you're calling from a neighbor island. You can also watch Insights streamed live at pbshawaii.org. Just click on the title of tonight's show, or find us on Twitter at PBS Hawaii. Now to our panel. Danny Goya is the program manager for Partners in Development's Kapa'alana program. Kapa'alana offers a traveling preschool program to homeless families during which parents can also receive support and training. Tracy Martin, whom you met in that film clip, is a married father of a 3-year-old daughter. He and his family have been homeless for about 2 years, and they currently live in a self-made shelter in the Kaka'ako encampment. Christy McPherson is the program director for Family Promise of Hawaii. The organization operates 2 emergency shelters on Oahu for homeless families with children, while at Family Promise of Hawaii, families have all their needs addressed, from food and shelter to health care to access to education. And Lena Sione is a married mother of 2 young children. She and her family currently live in a transitional shelter at Kalailoa on Oahu and attend a Kapa'alana preschool near the facility. Mrs. Sione came to Hawaii from Samoa in May 2013 for medical treatment, and her family followed 3 months later. Tracy, let's start with you from that documentary. What's it like to see your daughter featured in this kind of a program where you're exposing your life so much? How has that been for you?
It's been a blessing, actually. My daughter, she has a lot of strength. I mean, her smile gives strength. You know, she represents the kids of Kaka'ako. You know, I'm proud of her.
And then for you folks, what's it like life now? Kaka'ako has really been under a lot of scrutiny, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, the bad publicity doesn't go well, and it's hectic. Life is getting hectic there. It's getting crowded.
Are you folks expecting to have to move out?
We really don't know, to be honest with you. Nobody really knows. Everybody is trying to watch the news, you know, out there with their phones or whatever, and actually praying and hoping that the governor and the mayor do what they said they will, you know.
What kind of future do you see for yourself and your daughter?
I see a good future. I mean, my daughter, she'll be somebody one day. You know, I believe that. I never planned on being out there this long, you know. It's just, you know, things happen, sweeps, you know.
Okay, we'll get back to some more details about your folks' life. Lena Sione, tell me about your own kids and what your journey's been like.
Well, my kids, they're really young, but going through Kapa'alana preschool, it really helped them transition from where we came from. It's like more like private family, close family, but going through Kapa'alana, it helped them try to explore out and about, like meeting new people, and it really helped them because English is like our second language, and I'm just thankful that we did join Capilano.
I met your two boys. How old are they?
Owen is 4 and Alfonso is 3.
And you folks have been in transitional housing. What's that been like?
It's a bit challenging. Like to me, it's not a place where you want to raise your family, but it's what we got to do, you know.
Okay, I'm going to move to Tracy now. Christy McPherson, I'm sorry. You know, these families, they come with such a wide variety of stories. How do you manage that? I mean, there's so many different issues with families, and you folks are focused on families, right?
We are. We are focused on them, on families. You know, every family has their own history, has their own challenges. You know, some are obvious, some are not as obvious when they first walk through our doors. But we learn about each family. We treat them all individually because we can't do cookie cutter. You know, we don't do cookie cutter with our families. We give them a lot of respect and dignity, and we just help them to learn a new way of doing things so that they can get out of homelessness. And that's really our goal, is to help them in that way. There's a lot of things that are entailed in that, but yes, it's a very small program, and it's really focused.
Does it take a lot of resources to get a family from the place where they were homeless to the place that they can handle permanent housing?
Yes, I mean, it takes a lot of resources, a lot of, you know, education, a lot of time, and a lot of love and care and support. So the nice thing is that through our program, they're able to save a lot of money so that they can, and we do serve a lot of families that are working. We do stress employment, you know, for our particular program, and it's for a short period, and then we can help them to look for housing when they're ready.
Danny Goya from Partners in Development. Your preschool program, as I understand it, yes, it attracts children because gives them something to do, but also it's meant to help the parents quite a bit.
Sure. Research shows that the child's most influential educator is often the most intimate contact, which is a parent, caregiver, a tutu. So our caregivers are involved with the preschool in a parent education class. They learn how to interact with their child, how to get them school ready, how to do things like discipline, what time to go to bed, food, nutrition. And there's also an adult ed component too that gets them back into the workforce.
Tracy Martin, with Talia, you know, she's about preschool age now. Do you worry about that, getting her up to speed for school?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, what kind of things do you have to do?
It's actually been a challenge. We wouldn't even let her play with other kids for a while. We were afraid that she might pick up bad habits and this and that. But we realized it's more parenting. It's us, you know. And we've been looking into preschools, you know. And I think she'll do fine. She's ready for it.
She probably wants to go to school.
Yeah.
She talk about it?
Yeah, a lot. I think she wants to be a teacher.
Really?
No.
What kind of things is she interested in? And how do you keep her engaged? I mean, it's a rough life on the street, right? Or is it pretty calm? I don't know.
With this heat, everybody stays indoors mostly, and people don't go out till nighttime. And yeah, she's young, so she's sleeping by the time all the other kids are playing. So. And
then Lena, how about you? Palana was helpful, but your boys are now getting ready for one of them is at least school age, right?
Yes, both of them are in school.
Oh, and then how do you handle that? How do you get them to school and how?
Well, it was a big help from Kapalana, making them transitional their way through. So it's pretty sad for me and my husband to see them going to a new school because they're always asking for their aunties, the teachers back in Kapalana. But they're doing really well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel happy. You know, they're so easy right now to transition to the new school, so I'm glad they did go through Kapalana.
Let me just ask, Christy, what kind of education, how do you ensure, or what do you do to make sure that the parents, do you focus on the parents making sure their kids do things, or do you actually end up doing things for the kids in your programs?
Well, you mean like education-wise? I mean, you know, our parents are under so much stress, and so sometimes, you know, education for especially the young ones, it kind of takes, you know, it takes a lot of energy for them to focus on that when they're also focusing on getting housing and all these other things that they have to do that, quite honestly, are just as pressing. So we do have a lot of toys and educational books and things like that, but you know, there's the language barrier too for a lot of our families. So we usually collaborate with like Hawaii Literacy. They're right upstairs in our building, or Kapa'alana. Not well. You guys are out on the Y&I side a lot, so you know. But we do refer them to Head Start or you know, early Head Start and programs like that. And then if they are of age to go to school, we make sure they're in school.
Danny, go ahead. And with your program, how have you done? As I understand, you know, how has the program moved along? Do you feel like you've been really successful?
Well, we're an accredited preschool. We're one of the first in the nation to receive accreditation of our kind, which is important because we want our families to pursue excellence. We don't think poverty is an excuse for the absence of excellence. You know, the Partners in Development Foundation really stands on the base of Po'okela.
Let me ask though, how do you overcome this issue though? These families are very stressed. How do you help parents engage their children and keep that kind of attitude up in their children if they're so busy with life itself?
I think working with them, we become family with them. We are there with them almost practically every step of the way. So how you would help a relative in need is pretty much how Kapa'alana operates.
Let me ask Tracy, when as Talia gets older, have you had a lot of programs come to you? Are there programs for kids like her that have been very active where you are?
Not very many. One Love is church. They you know, they've come around. Not too much, but I'm glad you brought up a point about the stress because that takes away a lot from the children. Because I find times where my wife and I are discussing something and my daughter is off in the corner by herself, and I stop myself and I like, look, this is taking too long. Look at who we're neglecting. You know, a lot of people don't realize that. And I've actually seen some kids who get neglected because of the stress and stuff.
Let me ask that question. I mean, we've done so much focus on the Kaka'ako camp, and there have been pictures of kids wandering around without supervision. What's your experience seeing other parents? What are the big problems the other parents are having in terms of taking care of their kids?
Nothing really. Maybe the young ones have a few, a little bit more learning, but we pretty much help each other. Yeah, you might see a child walking close to the road or something. You'll hear someone say, hey, get off the road, or you see someone go get the kid, bring them back. We realize that we all got to help each other, you know, raising the kids.
Lena, has that been your experience too? That, I mean, in transitional housing, you're at Kalailoa. What kind of housing is it that your folks are in?
It's more like, it was an old army barracks.
Right, I've seen those all along Roosevelt Road over there. Yeah, and it's, do you have your own room or?
Yes, we have our own room.
And how many people live in there?
There's 4 of us.
In one room?
Two bedrooms.
And how has that been?
It's all right. It's okay. I mean, at least we have a roof on our head. I'm just grateful for that. It's just a good start.
Okay. One thing we need to tell folks that our closed captioning has gone out. We apologize for that. Meanwhile, we're talking more about homeless and homeless families. And Christy, let me ask, is there enough focus in the nonprofit government community on the issue of parenting? do you think?
Well, I think, you know, parenting is, I mean, we're all, well, I know for myself, I can only speak for myself, but I do what I do for the children. I mean, it's really, you know, we're really focusing on having them, providing them a stable place to live so that they can focus on things that they need to do, as well as the parents. You know, if you have a stable environment, you're able to concentrate on things like parenting. But I mean, I know as a single mom, you know, when you're stressed out, you know, parenting sometimes goes out the window. I mean, to be honest, you know, that's, you try your best.
Even when you have a house.
Oh yes, I mean, you can ask me all about that. But I mean, when you're trying to just survive, you know, parenting is so challenging, and I think programs like Kapa'alana, I mean, it provides that stability and that consistency that I think helps parents to become more consistent with their own children, and I think that makes a world of difference.
Can I chime in on something?
Sure.
I think there's sometimes a misconception that parenting is equated to the socioeconomic scale. There are parents who come from affluent households that are poor parents.
Thank you.
You know, they have the electronic pacifiers, right? So there's a need for high quality child and family-child engagement throughout our communities. The homelessness, it tends to get magnified, right? But I used to be a school teacher, so I've seen the whole, okay, you're the school, you take care of my child and produce a good citizen here. But so I just kind of wanted to make sure that point kind of gets out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely understood. Yeah, I mean, all parents have challenges, and some do well and some don't do as well. I do need to ask both of you, but let me start with Tracy Martin. We are getting some callers in who want to know a little bit more about you folks and how you ended up in this position. So, Tracy, you know, the question comes, why don't you go to a shelter for your family instead of, quote unquote, choosing to be homeless? I mean, how do you answer when people ask
to be homeless? You know, that is not choosing to be homeless. The reason, I have my own personal reasons, and like I tell everyone, you need to be in my shoes. I don't wish this on anyone though, but it's that sense of home. You know, I hear so much stories of why people don't go to shelters. The street that I'm on, 90% have been in shelters, and I can't really touch on it. But as a man, it doesn't really give me more hope. It's just a place to sleep. You gotta get up in the morning and leave, and go somewhere, hang out all day. And if your kids got to go to school, you know, sometimes you got to get them ready as you leave in the shelter. You know, if she's sick, you know, where do we go? You know, if it's raining, any kind, there's so much reasons. And that's just the personal ones. There is a problem sometimes. I'm not talking about the transitional housing, they're more upkept, but the shelters, bed bugs.
Let me ask it this way. Once you became homeless, and tell me, what was it like, when did you first become homeless? What happened? How did you end up in that situation?
I had a heart attack, and I needed a stent put in, and at the time I was a manager where I was working, and they needed me to be there same as always, but I couldn't. The doctor said no, you know. You do that, you end up dead soon. So they just took me off the schedule.
So health issues, basically,
yeah,
primarily. Okay, and Lena Sione, what about you? How did your family end up in the situation where you ended up in the shelter?
Both me and my husband were working at the time.
Weren't working?
Yeah. So
how come you couldn't work?
We came here for medical reasons, so I went through my treatments and it made us stop working. and then now I'm all good, better. Now we're starting to find jobs, which we did from the help of Kapalana, pushing us go through job fairs, putting up our resumes. And
let me ask though, is it even getting a job? What are you going to be doing?
I'm working at a First Wine Bank.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then, are you going to be able to make enough money though to have get a place?
Yes. So finally, I'm working. I just need to update our income to the housings that we applied to. So we're still on the waiting list.
For public housing?
Public housing, whichever housing that we just put our application everywhere.
Okay. Now let me ask Danny and Christy. What kind of history do you see of this? When you hear a question like that, why don't you go to a shelter for your family instead of choosing to be homeless? And I mean, is that a fair question?
I mean, I think that's a question that will always be asked. But as Christy referred to earlier, each individual has a story. And I also think that there can be some struggles sometimes with people that are involved in generational poverty. So they grew up on the streets.
Be a little more specific about that sort of complex or that situation. Why is it that a child raised in a homeless situation is more likely to end up homeless themselves as an adult?
Well, that's why we started it with preschool outreach. It's really, is a child prepared for early learning, for school readiness and formal learning? You know, the saying that we have in a family literacy circle is from birth to 8, you learn how to read, and from 8 on, you read to learn. So if the basic skill sets aren't developed in preschool, it's pretty indicative of what will happen to that child and graduation rates and dropout rates and so on and so forth. There's a lot of research that indicates how if a child has high quality preschool, how they can avoid a life of incarceration, how they can avoid a life of teenage pregnancy, homelessness, so on and so forth. So having a setting where both the parent and child can learn together, dually a family-child interactive learning setting, is pretty ideal for this type of situation.
What have you seen, Christy, in your own observation? I mean, do you think that, I mean, I've heard it said that once you become homeless, you end up in this stuck cycle. Is that sort of what you've seen? And it sounds like that's what Tracy has gone through.
You know, I'm really glad you shared that because, you know, I work in a shelter. I mean, we have two shelters, and they're provided by our congregations that host them at night. But we have a day center, so we're not your typical shelter in that way, but I get it. I get why people don't want to stay there. You know, I mean,
Thank you.
I do. I totally understand. And I think it's because it's that sense of, you know, this is your home, whether it's a tent or your car or whatever it is, it's comfortable and it's a home rather than sleeping right next to people that you don't know. I mean, there's some people who are willing to do that, and there's some that really just don't want to do it. And you know what? We can't judge that. We really can't. I myself could never judge that.
Well, let me ask.
I could do it if I was single, you know. But you know, I have a daughter, and it's pretty hard. We already sleep close enough to each other with our, you know, with our tent being squeezed into Kaka'ako. But you know, there's so many things the public doesn't know, and I stress this. I can't really explain it to you unless you walk in my shoes. I don't wish it on anyone though, but, and another thing is, it's politics. I mean, people get stuck being homeless because of what's being done to them.
Let me ask that question. I mean, how difficult, of the challenges you faced as a family, how much would you say is due to your own situation that you found yourself into as a family, and how much of it is due to the government continuously doing sweeps and so on? It was quite, you know, sad to hear that Talia knows what a sweep is and knows how to get her things together for the sweep. How much has the sweeps affected your ability to get on your feet?
I'll share a story with you. One day, this is the third sweep we've experienced, and my daughter had a fever. We had just woken up. It was about 7 o'clock a.m. 7 o'clock in the morning. My daughter had a fever of 100, and I didn't have any medicine for her. And we were just in a small little tent, and we had our 3 backpacks, and my wife needed to go to a first to work program, and we couldn't miss that. So as they were coming down, I talked to the HPD officer, and he got me to the city and county guy. I told him my situation, and he said, go ahead and take care of your family. Where's your tent? I said, right here. He said, we'll pass it. Go ahead. We left. When we left, as we left, they went down the street, did their thing, came back, and took our stuff. When we returned to nothing.
And how long did it take you to get back to the point where you were then? I mean, you now you've lost this stuff, and then how long did it take until you had ID and had the ability? Because a lot of people...
I still don't have my ID. I still don't exist. I mean, you know...
Okay, Lena, let me move to you. For yourself, this challenge of how long have you folks been trying to get going and get work? And what's been the big help for you? And how much were having to take care of your kids slowing you down in your ability to get work?
To me, it took me a couple months to get work. It was a big push from the parenting class in Kapalana. We have job fairs that we go to. They also help us with filling up our resumes, try to train us with like going through interviews and what to be expected to ask questions.
And let me ask, Danny, from the experiences you folks have had, how difficult is it for these families to find work when they're also taking care of their kids? Is that, do they need someone to intervene to help watch their kids so they can get going economically?
Right. I mean, that's childcare is going to be an issue.
That's not only in the homeless community too.
Yeah.
There is just no child care, right? No affordable child care anywhere.
Mm-hmm. And but she has a good family support with her husband, and he's employed too, and their shifts complement each other. So I think that's part of the work. You know, it's how do you work that rhythm and rhyme, that handoff, so that they can still be in school and then still find work.
Christy McPherson with Family Promise, how much has, you know, when we started this whole homeless crusade on the part of the government, there was a lot of focus on chronic singles and a lot of focus on veterans.
Right.
And actually they literally put families on the back burner. Has that, what impact has that policy decision had on the ability of you folks to help families?
Well, you know, we just went and did our thing. I mean, we're always going to do our thing because we're focusing.
And you're rich, right? You've got plenty of money.
Oh, I have tons of money. No, I'm just kidding. But no, we will always serve families because that's why we exist as an organization, is to serve families. But you know, everyone needs help. Chronically homeless, veterans. So every agency focuses on a different population, and ours happens to be families. But we haven't had any challenges as far as being able to serve families. I mean, we've always been fortunate to have the funding to be able to do that and the partnerships that we have with our congregations. So we've always been able to do that work, and we're going to continue doing that. And, you know, Family Promise is part of Housing ASAP, the Hawaii Community Foundation, and we have 8 different organizations that are part of that, and we're really focusing on trying to end family homelessness. So,
okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Housing ASAP and Housing First, because I think that for someone like Tracy and his family, that might be the best choice. But for now, I'd like to address the audience. Tonight we're discussing how people raise children in a homeless environment. Please call, email, or tweet your questions and comments. Call 973-1000 if you're calling from Oahu, and 800-238-4847 if you're calling from a neighbor island. Lena, tell me, in terms of health care for your children, have you had a challenge in getting them health care? Are you able to get them to doctor's appointments and so on? Do they have coverage, for example?
Yes, they do have coverage. We applied for a Quest, that's the state assistant coverage. So
What about physically getting them to a doctor's appointment? You folks have always, what about, Kailua is kind of isolated, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but we make use of the programs because there's a van that picks us up when we have the kids' appointment, especially because there are hospitals in town, Queens. So we call up the van and they'll come and pick us up for them.
You know, Tracy, let me ask, it seems like there's lots of programs out there, but it seems like your family is falling through the cracks. It doesn't seem, are you getting supported by some of these programs?
Yes, we are. But yeah, you're right, we have. And there's a lot of us that have fallen through the cracks, you know.
And how does that happen? What, I mean, do you know why? I mean, it's hard to know if you don't know, right?
Well, just look at what the mayor and the governor said. They said we're gonna help the families, and next time you see them on the news, you know, we're gonna help the single people. There's no room in the shelters for families.
Have you ever turned away anybody who was trying to help you? Do you think that sometimes people don't have the right idea of how to fit with a particular family's needs?
No, actually, we have turned away. We had an offer from Jun Yang, and he offered to put us in a shelter when he heard our story.
He's the city housing coordinator. Yeah.
And he said, you know, you can pack up your stuff and be in a shelter by tomorrow. And I told him, no, I don't think so. You know, and he said, why not? I said, what about the families before us? They said, oh, this is not about them, this is about you. I said, no. There's people in line. There's a waiting list, you know, and if we go ahead, there's going to be some people mad.
Do you think your daughter, though, would be better off in a sheltered environment than where she is now?
This is my personal opinion, and
you're entitled to it. You're the dad, so
I don't care what anybody says. My daughter has been the strength of Kakako's families. I mean, she uplifts people. I mean, when people come to talk to my wife and stuff, and she's there with her hugs, you know, with the pats on her backs, and I mean, all the kids come to our tent and hang out. You know, it's like extra hard for me. I got to be a really good role model, but you know,
your uncle.
Yeah.
But let me move on to some of these questions from viewers, because I do want to honor our viewers, and there are quite a bit of number of questions coming in. Don in Newtown says, the city is so mean to destroy documents of homeless people, suggests that copies of important documents of homeless people could be kept in a safe deposit box, but I guess that would require access to the bank, and you're working at a bank, so you'll be okay. So that was one comment. Hawaiians and the poor are like Syrians in our own country, and the harassment is a disgrace. The police are a disgrace. That was from Anonymous. If any of you guys want to chime in on any of these thoughts right now, let's go through them. If caller is unhappy with the city and state political leadership for not solving the homeless problem, and this is good. What are the day-to-day challenges Tracy and Lena face? So in a transitional housing shelter, what are the biggest challenges for your family? And how long have you been there now?
I've been there for about 1.5 years. But like I said earlier, like, it's not a place to try to raise a family. Like, you just want to start from having your own place.
When you say that, what are the drawbacks?
It's more like it's just temporary. So.
Do the kids get a sense that way, do you think?
No, they don't. They're attached to everyone, they're friendly.
How much do you think that they know what their situation is, in a sense of, or they're just in their family?
Yeah, I don't think.
And Tracy, let me ask, so Talia is aware of sweeps, but is she aware that that's unusual to go through something like that? That's been her life pretty much, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We talked a lot. The hard part is putting a smile on your face when you're stressed out because you heard a rumor of a sweep, you know? I mean, just the word sweep. Oh boy. You mess all of Kaka'ako up. If you go down the street and yell sweep in the morning, everybody's day is just screwed. that's the anxiety, the pressure, the stress of just hearing that, you know, because when they come, they just come, and you have what little time they give you to get whatever belongings you need and have, you know, before they take it and throw it away.
You know, that really is a good segue to this question. It says, seems to be two different sides regarding solutions. Punitive measures, kind of what you're describing, compassionate disruption or whatever it's called.
Those two words should not be together.
Yeah, versus compassionate measures. Which one works better? Let me ask, you know, Danny, what do you think? I mean, there are people in the homeless services community who believe the sweeps and are a good thing, that it forces people to get into shelter.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. But when you kind of talk about transformational change, there comes a time where every individual will make that acknowledgement. Yeah, so it's working case by case.
Do you think, and you know, Krista, you can chime in here, does the government have the resources being applied now that can enable people to serve families case by case, or are they especially pushing for cookie cutter type approaches?
Well, when there was the HUD COC, so you went from outreach to emergency shelters up to 6 to 8 months to transition.
COC is continuum of care.
So that's the 4-step process to housing, right? So you have emergency outreach, you have emergency shelters up to 6 to 8 months. You have a 24-hour shelter 24-month shelter that you would transition to. So Lena's actually on the perfect plan, because as you can see, she's almost ready for that step to reach housing. And then you have public housing, low income. Through that, if there's an educational and social support for the individual, for the families, the chances are greater that they won't recycle back to the beginning of the step one. So. Yeah,
but you know, you mentioned housing ASAP, which is essentially housing first. The idea, describe that. How does that different from actually what Danny kind of described right there?
Well, you know, we're still kind of challenged with figuring out exactly what housing first means for all of us. We all have,
in Hawaii in particular.
You know, yes. But I think, you know, when you asked about the sweeps versus, you know, is that more effective, or is it, you know, doing, you know, like either the sweeps or getting them into shelters? We all know that sweeps aren't. To me, I mean, I'm being honest, they're not that effective, because a family's just going to find somewhere else to go. So I personally think it's a waste of money.
Okay, but describe what housing first should be. How does it work?
Well, housing first should be that, you know, housing is the first priority. So you get them in housing first. And
permanent housing?
Permanent housing is definitely, yes. I mean, the focus is definitely on permanent housing now. But it's to get them in the housing regardless of what they have going on, whether it's substance abuse or, you know, mental illness or anything like that. So it's getting housing first, and then getting the services put in place in the housing so that they can, you know, maintain that, that stability. So.
Tracy, has that kind of a program ever been offered to you?
That's perfect.
The problem is there's not enough of it, yeah.
Took my family off the street, put me in you better believe I'm not going to lose that place.
And you probably won't lose your ID.
Yeah, I'm going to do everything I can to keep it. I mean, that's all we need is that chance. We're not getting that chance, you know. And this sweeps works. I mean, sweeps are inevitable. We need them, because places need to be cleaned up. We do not have, you know, places that we put our trash. We gotta.
Let me ask you this question. On that point, you know, the Kaka'ako encampment was specifically sort of protected from sweeps for a while, right? When the governor and the mayor were kind of disagreeing about what to do about the Kaka'ako encampment. How have conditions changed during that period where there weren't sweeps?
Well, for one, a lot of people got jobs. A lot of people found employment. A lot of homeless people found employment.
How did they manage that?
No
Just
sweeps.
because it was, oh, I see.
Sweeps paralyze you. You don't know when they're coming, you know. And by the time you know they're not coming, it's the afternoon already. You know, it's hard to go look for a job. And it's sad because now all these people are worried about losing their jobs because if there's a sweep, they can't go to work. They got all their stuff. There's something the public needs to realize. When you become homeless, you don't just become homeless with you and your stick with the bag on the end of it. You have whatever's in your apartment, whatever's in your house, and if you can't afford storage, whatever you don't want to give up, you're going to bring with you wherever you go. And these people have, you know, lifetimes of special stuff they're holding on to that they're bringing. I know one lady who has this big old chair that she will not give up. And she's going to haul this thing wherever she goes because it's been handed down through generations and generations in her family.
Let me ask, this is kind of an interesting specific point. It says, and you mentioned Lena, you mentioned getting transportation help from the programs. Let me make sure I get Michael at Big Island says he thinks a lot of homeless starts with car loss. When you lose your car, you lose your job. Now, this is a Big Island perspective to a certain extent because of the wide open spaces there. But the cost of car is high due to registration being too high, and so on. And another caller talks about, you know, transportation. Do you guys have a car, or how do you guys get around?
No, we don't have a car. We got bus, you know, and that works fine for us. I mean,
as long as you're in town.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. That's why a lot of people like this location. But the out of sight, out of mind is another saying they go by, you know, that's with compassionate disruption. And they want us in rural areas, like, you know, Waianae, you know.
Well, that's where, like, for example, if they did housing first, there's a good chance that the affordable apartment's going to be not.
Oh, naturally.
Kaka'ako,
I mean,
right?
Yeah, because of the medium home prices. I mean, if you're in an area where everything's expensive, everything's going to be expensive, including rent, you know.
Lena, let me ask you, you folks still don't have a car, or you have a car?
Oh, we have a car now.
So you have a car now.
Yes.
And then are you, and when you have two jobs, you might need two cars. Are you concerned about the cost that you're going to run into when you do find a house, of all the deposits and rent and all that kind of stuff? Are you worried about that?
Well, to me, my own personal thought is it's up to the person to manage their bill for the month. Like for me, I'd rather catch the bus. It's cheaper, saves gas, since I work in town. But yeah, I'd rather just leave the car where the kids are in school, so that way I catch the bus back, pick them up from school with the car.
Oh, I see. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then, but Tracy,
transportation.
Are you a little concerned? Like, let's say someone did offer you an apartment in Waipahu, and eventually you pick up the rent somehow, but all the other costs associated with moving into a permanent place, is that a barrier to you? Think finding permanent housing?
No, like I've been saying, all we need is a chance, and if that chance comes, we got to decide what we're sacrificing, you know, how we're going to do it. You know, we got to stick to our game plan, whatever plan we make, you know, to make it, you know, and not fail again. But, you know, it's not only people from other homeless people from other places that's coming to Kaka'ako. There's a lot of new families, I mean, that are coming because they lost their jobs. I mean, the number one reason for homelessness is credit. Not what the government says, which is drugs and alcohol. It's credit. And the second is like divorce, you know, child support payments, or abuse, people fleeing abusive relationships, not being able to get into a shelter, and then moving to the streets. You know, drugs and alcohol and mental illness is like 3 or 4 down the list.
Christy, is that what your experience has been too?
Yes.
Because you're nodding your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you know, they're the experts, so I really do relate to what they're saying, you know, from my experience working in this field. there's so many reasons people become homeless, you know, and those are definitely important ones.
What are the other big challenges for families have you seen? I mean, the theme of this show in particular is about parenting. What do you think is the biggest challenge for most of the families? You know, and I guess I'm asking for kind of a generalization, but.
Well, you know, when you're talking about families, I think the biggest challenge, I mean, I talk to a lot of landlords and, you know, rental managers, and their main concern is credit. Like you said, that's probably the biggest barrier. The second would be, oh, you have young kids. Okay, well, I don't know. We don't want young kids in this, in this place because our neighbors are gonna, you know, complain. And I mean, it's really challenging for families, especially large families.
Is Hawaii going to be able to execute that housing first model that we've been discussing? Really, I mean, are there enough landlords out there ready to rent?
No. No, I mean, I'm not saying no, it's never going to happen, but there's definitely not enough landlords right now. But what inspired me recently is talking to some people in the Metro Rotary, and we're trying to work out a plan of, you know, getting landlords to be on board. And I think that's what we need, are creative solutions, because what we're doing now is obviously not enough and it's not working effectively. So we need to be creative as a community and do whatever we can to provide more housing and more opportunities for families so we can end homelessness truly. If we just keep doing the status quo, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, sorry, there's some systemic things that need to be addressed and changed as well. For example, you know, Section 8, a landlord doesn't get deposit for their unit that they're going to rent out. Rent gets paid at the end of the month, not at the beginning of the month.
So landlords, you could see the ads that say no Section 8.
Right, because it's, you know, so there's different things with, you know, even trying to get a permit to refurbish a public housing unit, how long that may take. There's definitely some systemic things that could speed up and have more available housing. And to circle back with something about the vets that was brought up, one of the reasons why the vets were targeted, one, I think if you served our country, we should have housing for you. But also, the vets came out with an actual voucher for rent. So that's why they were easy to provide some kind of, and it was a pretty sizable amount, but they couldn't find landlords that would take them. So.
Yeah, the landlord attitude is really a problem, and I guess, you know, Tracy had mentioned when you face the prospect of facing the landlord and having to say, well, I was homeless, I've got no credit, it must be really daunting and kind of a scary thing for you, isn't it?
And they want $75 for an application fee, you know, a lot of places.
Yeah, and I think that those Housing First organizations do try and come up with that kind of money at least, and sometimes rental subsidies, but right now not enough landlords. You know, I've got a caller, Jim from Makiki. After working with affordable housing for almost 40 years, all I see of our politicians is that they're in bed with downtown economy controllers. All that happens is housing gets built that's not affordable to people who live here. Anybody disagree in this group?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
No disagreement.
Where is the political pressure on Mayor Caldwell to conduct sweeps coming from?
Private sector.
Do you think that, what's your sense of the political place of the homeless in this?
I mean, it's a scratch my back, I scratch yours. I've never ever thought of politics in my life until becoming homeless, and I see straight up corruption. I mean, take the Waikiki Sit Lie. I went to the hearing, and I've heard all these hotels and representatives saying that these people are urinating and defecating in our lobbies. I mean, you got cameras in your lobby, show the proof if you're gonna say it, you know? They say there's tents in front of their hotels, and I walk up and down Kalakaua and Kohio, I don't see no tent on the sidewalk, you know, but they say all these things and they get this bill passed. Why, for tourism? I mean, this is still paradise, just not for us, you know?
I've got a couple of callers here who are, I think, clearly quite inspired by both of you folks. One person, question for Tracy and Lena. I'll start with you, Lena. You know, what are your hopes and dreams for your family? Where do you see yourselves in a few years? What's your dream?
My dream is to see my kids successful in school, growing up, seeing both me and my husband success, and find a permanent place to stay.
And you originally came from Samoa, and your husband came from Samoa also. Are there still issues with immigration for your husband?
It's now resolved, but that was the biggest challenge for us, is trying to pay for our fee, processing papers for him.
Oh, for immigration?
Yes, but right now we're settled with that.
Do you know other folks who are migrants who are affected by their migrant status, that they can't get work, they end up stuck in homelessness, or they end up stuck being poor because their status keeps them from getting work?
Yes, I do know some few folks, but it's just that I just found out that there are programs within the shelter that will help them to get it processed. So.
And Tracy, yourself, what I'm kind of struck by is, how long do you think you can tolerate this lifestyle? I mean, your daughter's getting older. You folks, I mean, what are you going to do? Have you got a strategy for moving on from this?
We're gonna fight. Right, we're staying. We're gonna fight. We're gonna bring awareness, and I'm gonna do something about it, because this is not only for me. It's for my daughter and for all the other kids. Because if nothing's done now, it's just going to get worse for them.
But at some point, you mentioned having this, being offered an opportunity to go to a shelter and saying, well, there's other people in the line.
That's just my personal thing. I'm glad my wife agrees with me. We're on the same page. We don't feel that we should be given a special treatment when we're all homeless.
Do you agree? There's an interesting question just came in, and anybody here can weigh in on this. Why don't they make encampments a safe place to live for these people? Do you think that a permanent encampment is a logical response to this? Is that an end product? Or, like, for example, we've always heard there will always be homeless. You know, so maybe you always need safe camps. What do you folks think about that? Let me start with either of you.
I'm not in favor of an environment like that. I'm not, just not.
So, housing. We need housing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think, I mean, if you're going to have to be in an encampment, may as well be safe, right? But that's not a solution. Yeah, affordable housing is really the only solution.
It seems like, and I got a question here from another caller that, you know, Tracy, I got to express appreciation to your willingness to expose your life like this and stand up, and I know that that's part of what motivates you. This person asks, are you looking for work? Have you applied for jobs? Have you used, for example, Waikiki Health Center's job placement program? I mean, I think a lot of people think, well, get a job and then that'll solve the problem. But I mean, how active are you in trying to get work, just to satisfy the viewer question?
Nothing at all. I'll be honest. I don't exist. I don't have an ID. I can't get a job. My wife, she's just got a full-time job. She works at an eye clinic at Queens. You know, it's not like we discussed this. We decided let's change roles. You know, I'm mommy now. You know, and she's working. You know, but still, she needs help. I mean, it's not enough to get us off the streets. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice and saving, and we can do it. You know, everybody can do it. You know.
So you do have a plan, and you're making progress, but you're still on the street until you can get going on.
I never thought we'd be there this long. I mean, I remember the first time we had to leave and we were actually homeless. I'm like 6 months most, you know. But then, you know, I came into a rude awakening with this and found out how you can get stuck.
So what do you picture when you look 5 years ahead? What do you see for your family in, say, 5 years?
Hopefully better.
We all hope better.
I mean, I know it's hard work. It's going to be a lot of hard work. And it's either I can wait till government change things or I can do it myself. And it looks like I'm going to have to work harder, you know.
Any comments from you folks on this? Do people lose hope?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's why it takes, you know, it takes a community to give them that hope again. You know.
Is there reason for hope, though? I mean, is there a place for everybody? Are we going to be able to take care of this?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to side on the avenue that education and values is going to be the key to unlocking this.
Okay.
So hope can take place in a school setting, community.
Okay, I've got to stop you out. Thank you all very much for this wonderful panel. And I want to point out that the Dear Thalia documentary will have its world premiere at the Hawaii International Film Festival in November. Maybe some more positive juju will come your way there, Tracy Martin. Tonight's discussion focused on how parents are raising children in a homeless environment. Next week, we'll focus on the children themselves and discuss what can be done to improve their odds for success. How can children growing up homeless break the cycle? That's next time on Insights on PBS Hawaii. I'm Daryl Huff from Hawaii News Now. Ahui ho.